I was actually going to record this video yesterday, but I was busy with Dark Souls 2. I just had like one DLC left. I just had Eye Breaking DLC and the Chandra left, and then I got busy with that and then I forgot to make the video. But I finished my replay of Dark Souls 2 for those who are interested. So SuperGirl came in finally, and even though I'm pretty disappointed, it's not that bad as people were crashing out on Twitter. You had to be there when critics review dropped on Rotten Tomatoes and it was like 59%. Everyone fucking switched sides. Everyone was like, yep, this is it. This is the end of DCU. Oh my god, Supergirl so bad. It's over. James Gunn, let's do another reboot. Like, people were crashing the fuck out. But to be fair, Twitter does overreact to everything. But it's not that bad. Like, I would still say it's better than like DCEU movies. I would say it's on the like level of Man of Steel. This is a better Supergirl movie than Man of Steel was a Superman movie. Like, Man of Steel is a pretty good movie, but it's just not a good Superman movie. But again, like I said, there are big complaints here from me. There are so many things which I didn't like. I'll talk about things I like. After that's done, we'll talk about the bad things and compared to comics and how, you know, comic was significantly better than the movie we got. Before that, I just have to say, James Gunn, please lock the fuck in. DCU is all I have. Please lock in for Man of Tomorrow. I know Clayface is gonna be good. I don't know about Lanterns though, but I know Clayface is gonna be good. I need you to lock the fuck in. Superman was super good last year. It was my favorite movie of last year, and I want you to lock in for Man of Tomorrow next year. We need to recover from Supergirl. Yeah, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Supergirl, and let's start with the good things of the movie. I would say definitely the best part about Supergirl was Supergirl. Millie Alcock does a very fucking good job of playing Supergirl. She's like suffering from the same problem as Henry Cavill's Superman and like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like, these actors, they're doing super good job as characters, but they're in front of a very mid script. Same with Millie Alcock. She does a very good job as a Supergirl. Again, she's in front of a very mid script. She can't really do much about it. If you're just talking about the character, Millie Alcock, very good job as a Supergirl. I'm very happy that she's Supergirl. One thing I'm happy about this movie is that we got Millie Alcock as Supergirl in the DCU. Supergirl was good. Ruthie was like, I would say she was better in the comics. Lobo was good. Lobo was very good. Lobo wasn't even in the comics, by the way. If you know Woman of Tomorrow, he wasn't even in the comics. This is like a movie original thing they added. Like he's just chasing some random guy and that's it. Lobo, Jason Momoa does a very good job as Lobo. Like, every time he's on the screen, I have like a smile on my face. Considering Lobo was a movie original edition and not in the Woman of Tomorrow comic, they did a good job because everything else they did, which was different for comics, they fucked it up. Krem was bad. The main villain, I'm gonna talk about him in the villain section because I have a big rant to make about him. But yeah, overall, characters were pretty good. Supergirl, Lobo, they were definitely the peak. They definitely did their job very good. The action scenes are very fucking good. The combat and stuff is like very fucking good. Like, even though this movie is like significantly weaker than last year's Superman, like Superman was super fucking good. One thing this movie does better than Superman 2025 is showing the speed of a Kryptonian. Supergirl is fast, especially in the final battle. Spoiler alert, by the way. So, like, in the final battle, Supergirl is speed blitzing everyone. She's like fucking flying at high speeds, fucking smashing Krem in the ground, and like, this movie does a very good job of showing a Kryptonian speed, even better than Superman 2025. The combat in Supergirl was good, you know. I don't really have much complaint about it, except for the fucking music. And every time they will add a music, it's this movie's like if someone tried to make a James Gunn movie, but without James Gunn actually in the field. Like, in the final scene, final battle I was talking about, even though I complimented it, the song they use in the final battle is like, it's like very weird because I think they were trying to make Mr. Terrific scene from like last year Superman. Lois is just standing and looking around, and Terrific, he's like destroying all the opponents, and same way Ruthie is just standing looking around and Supergirl is speed blitzing everyone. But overall, the combat in this movie was pretty good. If you want to see action, this movie has it. In fact, that's the only thing this movie has it. Even the Woman of Tomorrow is not even a fucking combat comic. It's a fucking journey comic. Like, it's a comic about journey of Kara and Ruthie. Another pretty good thing about the movie was Kara's backstory. Supergirl backstory. It was very different from the comics. I would say it was still done better in the comic, but it wasn't really done bad in the movie. Like, I feel like they did 90% of what happened in the comics. This Supergirl, the movie Supergirl origin, it's pretty different from your average Supergirl. So average Supergirl origin is like, yeah, you know, she was on Krypton, she came to Earth, you know, fucking got stuck in the space. Because of space shenanigans, Clark became older than her, even though she's way older than Clark. She was supposed to be. Even so, that's why technically Supergirl is the older cousin. But in this movie is different. This movie, Kara is like about 8 years younger than Clark. Like, she's actually young. Like, she doesn't even saw Krypton getting destroyed. Like, so what happens is Krypton getting destroyed. Kara's father, Supergirl's father, he makes a force field around the city, protecting just the city while the rest of the planet get destroyed, and the surviving Kryptonians, they start living on that planet, and that's where she's born. So Kara never saw what Krypton was and all that. For her, this new city, it's her home, it's her planet, it's her everything. Which again, I don't really have any problem with. I don't think it really affects her character, because even if she was born on Krypton Krypton and saw Krypton getting destroyed, and even if she wasn't born on Krypton and was born on the city, Argo City I think was it called, the point is same, like she saw her people die and that gave her a trauma. So she gets born, but turns out Argo City soil is poisoned by kryptonite. People are getting kryptonite poisoning. Kara's mom, she also gets the kryptonite poisoning, and then there's just no way to survive from this. Like, this is GG's for Kryptonian race. So Kara's father were like, yeah, there is no way to save any of us, but you can be saved. I'm gonna send you to the same place your cousin is. One thing I didn't like about Kara's backstory, they cut off a scene from comics. That scene was really good. So in Woman of Tomorrow comic, when they realize that kryptonite is like poisoning the land, people are dying, Kara's father doesn't instantly says, okay Kara, I'm sending you to fucking Earth. His first plan was to put needle nails in the ground to help with the kryptonite poisoning, and Supergirl works for like 40 something hours putting the nails in the ground in the comics. Her hands are all fucked up from hammering the nail, and when she's like feeling sleepy or some shit, she literally hits her thigh to keep herself awake and keep fucking hammering down the nails so that she can save her fucking city. It shows how much she loves her people, her planet, or the city, and how much she want to save it. But obviously it doesn't work out. Kryptonite poisoning still fucks up the land, and it's everyone's dying. But overall they did a pretty good job with Kara's backstory. Like I said, they did 90% of what was shown in the comics, with a little bit of exception with her age. They changed her age. She's actually younger than Clark. That's the end of the good things. The characters were good, combat was good, backstory was good, but that's the end. I guess the effects were good too. Like the effects we see in the movie, that's pretty good too. Like it's not really bad. Movie doesn't look bad from VFX point of view, but it does look bad. So now I'm getting in the bad things. The movie does look bad if you compare it to the fucking comics. Woman of Tomorrow, it's a very fucking colorful comic. Like, I'm gonna show some picture. I hope I don't get new. Woman of Tomorrow is a super beautiful comic. When I read it, it was like so fucking good. But the movie just looks so fucking bland. The colors are gone. It just looks basic space adventure movie. Like last year Superman came out and it was so colorful. Like the one scene where Superman is like using his breath to escape the black hole. The colors was immaculate in that scene. But this movie just lacks the color, which I didn't like, because Woman of Tomorrow is one of the best colored pieces of fictions I've ever fucking saw. I really wish the movie was more colorful looking like the last year Superman. I've already talked about it. Like, I didn't like the putting music on every fucking fight, especially the last scene where it's just like the music is just not good. Now let's talk about my biggest problem. Let's talk about him, Krem. Oh boy, I hate movie Krem. He's such a trash villain. Super bad villain. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of Krem from the comic. I hate him in the comic too, but I hate him as a villain. Like, he's a fucking pathetic loser piece of shit who preys on the weak, runs from the strong. Like in the comic, he's way more pathetic than in the movie. On their first encounter, Krem hits Supergirl with the fucking poison arrow, tries to fight her. Supergirl still knocks him out with just one punch, and he then runs away. And after that, he literally whole comic he runs away from her. He uses a magic ball thing, which again I forgot the name of, but he uses it to fucking send her to the Green Sun planet, which yeah, they do adapt in the comic. It's a little bit different though. And the second time she comes around, he tries the same shit, but obviously she doesn't fall for it again. The movie Krem, they tried making him a fighting villain, and that's the problem. Krem is not supposed to be a fighting villain. They made him strong. He casually stops a fucking tank like this with his forearm and just throws it away. Like, it's just, they made him strong, and it still doesn't work because he's still getting dog walked by Supergirl. So like, what was the point of making him strong in the first place? And what was the point of making him and Supergirl fight? Because when Supergirl actually fights in the finale, she destroys him. He's supposed to be a cunning, loser, coward, pathetic kind of a villain. I hate comic Krem, by the way. Like, that guy was a piece of shit, but you can't deny that that's a pretty good villain. He was literally torturing innocent people in the comics. Like, yeah, Woman of Tomorrow comic is way more dark than compared to what we got in the movies. The comics is literally them chasing after brigands. They're literally going from planet to planet where brigands have committed genocide, and we are just seeing the aftermath of all these people who has been through the worst thing anyone can go through. In the movie, he's already part of brigands, these space Nazi fuckers who just go around killing people. But they're pretty different in the movies. In the movie, they're kidnapping girls and shit to make bride. In the comics, brigands are fucking space Nazis. They literally go from planet to planet committing genocide on people. Like, there is no fucking kidnapping girls plotline in the comics. And also, Krem wasn't really part of the brigade. He worked for the king, and that's why he killed Ruthie's father. Yeah, in the movie, he kills Ruthie's whole family because he's here for Ruthie's father's sword and some shit. But in the comic, Ruthie's father was a fucking farmer, not a swordsmith. She come from a poor family. In the comics, he later joins the brigade when he gets fucking arrested on a planet, and then he helps brigands out with some shit, and then he gets to join brigand. In the movie, it's just like he's already part of it. I don't think it changes very much because he is still a piece of shit. Like, and his ending is also very different from what we got in the comics. In the comics, Krem doesn't die. He just suffers a 300-year-old long prison. By the time he comes out, his fucking mind is broken. He's lost his sanity. He's literally begging Ruthie for for like, please forgive me, and Ruthie obviously doesn't forgive him. In the movie they kill him, but Supergirl, she kills him by stabbing him with the sword. But Krem was like super bad. Also his design was very bad. It's not like he had a masterpiece design in the comic. He just looked like a basic guy with beards and hairs, like that's it. But in the movie he's like spike all over his face, and it's such a bad fucking design. It's like some Guardians of the Galaxy bullshit. It just doesn't work. His design is very bad compared to the comic. Again, like I said, comic does have a very basic design. It's better than what we got in the movie. Another thing I didn't like, which was also my most frustrating moment in the movie, was Supergirl trying to make Ruthie give up revenge. Woman of Tomorrow comic, it's not a battle comic or anything. It's not a Supergirl origin comic or anything. It actually takes place from Ruthie's point of view. Ruthie is the fucking main character of Woman of Tomorrow because the whole comic is from her point of view. She's telling the story. The whole comic is about a journey of Supergirl and Ruthie together. It's not about chasing Krem. It's not about anything. It's about their journeying together. Even though they are chasing Krem and shit. In the movie, what they do is like Supergirl just say, hey, revenge is bad. You don't take revenge on people. And like there's a scene where Ruthie sneaks up on Krem and she's about to kill him, and Supergirl rushes in, flying Ruthie away. She's like, oh, you don't revenge. What the fuck were you doing? And because of that, Krem, he kills a family of 3. The family who poisoned Supergirl so that they can their good daughter back from brigands by turning Supergirl and Ruthie in. But Supergirl wasn't really totally poisoned, so Krem thought it was these guys' fault, and he kills them and their daughter, who just escaped from the ship during all this battle. Those family of 3 died because of Supergirl and Ruthie mistake. They both had their mistake. If Supergirl hadn't jumped in to pull Ruthie away from Krem, Ruthie would have killed Krem, and the family of 3 would have survived. And if Ruthie didn't move from her place, like Supergirl said Ruthie, like, do not move from here. I'm gonna do the job. Supergirl would only have Krem to worry about. She would fucking beat the shit out of Krem, and the family of 3 would survive. So yeah, it was both of their fault. So that scene was like very frustrating that this family of 3 had to die because of Ruthie and Supergirl. And the way Supergirl approaches the revenge thing is also very bad. She just says like, revenge is bad. It's just not good. Don't do the revenge. And Ruthie's like, oh, fuck you. What do you mean don't do revenge? I don't want to like you. I want to get my revenge. I don't want to get fucking drunk like you and forget about things. It's just so much bad compared to the comics. And the comics, like I said, Woman of Tomorrow is a comic about a journey. That was my favorite part in Woman of Tomorrow, when in the finale they revealed that Krypto was never sick, even though throughout the whole comic the motivation was that get Krem and get the antidote. Well, not antidote. In the comic it's just like you have to get poison. You have to get a large amount of poison from Krem so that doctor can analyze it and make his own antidote. Krem didn't was walking around with an antidote. Basically, Supergirl was chasing Krem for Krypto, but in the end she reveals that Krypto was fine. Krypto never needed Krem's antidote. Doctor had Krypto saved from the start. The whole reason Supergirl went on this journey with Ruthie is to change her mind about revenge. Supergirl says how she knew if she just left Ruthie on her own, Ruthie would waste her whole fucking life after revenge and she wouldn't be able to live her life. And Supergirl doesn't want that. That's why she went on this journey with Ruthie to change her mind. And it does work. In the finale, when Ruthie defeats Krem and Krem is on his knees, Ruthie tries to kill Krem, but her hand stops on its own because she doesn't want to kill. Because throughout their journey, they went through all these planets where brigands committed genocide, and Ruthie has learned about how precious the life is. So she doesn't want to kill Krem, even if this guy killed her father. So she doesn't want to kill him. But in the movie, they're just arguing. Like Supergirl is like, hey, revenge is bad. And Ruthie's like, no, I want my revenge, and that's it. And also, like, they remove the whole journey element from the movie. It's like if you take One Piece but remove all the journey part and just put the battle part in. I feel like you will enjoy this movie way more if you haven't read the comic. Like, I have read the comics, so every time I was comparing it to the comics. But if you haven't read Woman of Tomorrow, I feel like you will enjoy this movie more than me. Again, like, I wasn't really like fucking in the theaters rubbing my fucking forehead like, wow, this movie is so bad. I had my fun. It was fine. Definitely a very big step back. Very big step back compared to the masterpiece that was Superman 2025, my favorite movie of last year. That's why I'm saying James Gunn lock the fuck in for Man of Tomorrow. Supergirl pulled us back one step. Now we need to walk 3 steps forward. Lock in with Man of Tomorrow. I know Clayface is gonna be good. That's one thing. Like, James Gunn is very, like, he's chronologically online. Like, he must see all this Supergirl criticism, and I hope he locks the fuck in. But yeah, let's also talk about the ending, like the finale scene where Supergirl goes after brigands to this planet where they are, obviously, to chase after Krem. This planet has a fucking green sun. That's why brigands are here, because they know Kryptonians, they get fucked by green sun. So this green sun, what it basically does, it tortures Kryptonian. So Supergirl is getting tortured. She literally gets knocked out, and then she gets dragged by Ruthie, and then Supergirl gets a flashback to when she came on Earth, and Clark helped her with stuff. But that was one of my favorite scenes in the comics, by the way, the green sun planet thing. So in the comics, it takes it completely differently. In comics, Supergirl is about to catch Krem, and then he uses the magic ball to send her to the green sun planet. According to Superman, being on this planet was the most painful experience of his life, and that was for only 45 minutes in the comic, until he was saved by the Justice League. Supergirl spends 10 hours on that planet getting tortured by the green sun. It's only when the sun goes down that she actually flies Ruthie out of the planet and they escape. She gets tortured for 10 hours, and I love it because that was like basically a Ruthie's chapter. Ruthie is the one who's protecting Supergirl from all these monsters who are on this planet. She literally kills a whole dinosaur looking thing too. In the movies, they use the green sun thing to give us the flashback, like, oh, Supergirl is passed out from the pain, so now she's getting the flashback. And then, this planet, it has two sun. It has green sun, yellow sun. Green sun goes down, yellow sun comes out. As yellow sun is coming out, she sees a Supergirl uniform. She puts that on. Time for the fight goes in, and the final fight happens. And like I said, the fight is good. The fight is not bad. Like I said, speed of her, that was probably my favorite part, when she's actually showing how fast a Kryptonian can actually be. Like, she's just dog walking Krem, like flying at full speed, like smashing him into the fucking ground. And unlike when Ruthie gets jumped by like all the brigands, and Supergirl speed blitz everyone, just killing everyone. And Lobo was also good. Lobo actually saves Supergirl. Like when she gets hit by the kryptonite in the comic, when Supergirl gets hit by the kryptonite by brigands, it's the Comet, the horse, who saves her. In the movie, it's Lobo who saves Supergirl. Like I said, Lobo was very good. Every time he was on the screen, I had a smile on my face. Like, Lobo was very good. Except for the song part, the final fighting scene is very good. And after final fighting scene, we see like a scene of Supergirl saying, yeah, I'm done with the going to the planet drinking kind of stuff. I think I'm ready to settle down. I'm gonna live on Earth as home. She comes to Superman's house and she's like, I'm gonna say this is my home. And then Superman says this is my home too. But again, like I said, it's better in the comics. But I get it. They couldn't do the comic version because the whole comic is being told by the older version of Ruthie. And so the comic ends with Supergirl coming to meet an older version, like very old version of Ruthie. And then she shows like how for past 300 years in this alternate dimension, fucking Krem is a prisoner. He lost his mind, fucking lost his sanity, begging for forgiveness and everything. And then they pulled out of the prison. And Ruthie doesn't kill him, but she also doesn't forgive him. She like hits him in the head and just walks away. Like, she doesn't forgive him, but she also doesn't kill him. So that was the ending in the comic, which, get it, they can't really do the time skip stuff in the movie. But yeah, like I said, overall movie wasn't really bad. If I have to give it a score, I would say probably 6.5 out of 10. I was gonna say 7, but because I've read the comic, I'm gonna cut off half the point. It's a 6.5 movies. Again, if you haven't read the comic, you will enjoy it. More than me at least. But yeah, let's hope Clayface is good. Let's really hope. We need a good movie this year. And then let's also hope Lanterns is good too. But overall, Supergirl, I was pretty disappointed, but it wasn't the worst experience of my life. I really hope they lock in for the future of DCU, because that's all I have. James Gunn, please, for the love of God. And yeah, that's it. I'm really taking my time with that Boys video, huh? I still have yet to watch the final season of The Boys. I'm so busy. But yeah, until then, see ya.